Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out Takanashi Kiara with Retrospective. Now, if I can recall correctly, I don't believe we've heard Takanashi Kiara on this channel, so this might be our first time reacting to Kiara's music on this channel here. So I'm pretty excited to get into this. One of you recommended that I actually check out Kiara, so here we are. I'm ready to jump in. Let's hit play in 3, 2, 1. Play. Ooh. I am already a big fan of this instrumental. Okay. Okay, so I really like this instrumental. I like really like it. Very, very open, like reverberating guitar. And those very, like, it's like almost on the bridging rock and metal drums, but we've got this really nice reverb on them, which makes them like very like soft rock acoustic drums. Though we'll see once we ramp up things, but I am a big fan of that guitar. Also, on the vocals, we're like going real nasally here. Very nasal voice here for our vocal track. Okay. Okay. She's actually got a very nice... It's very nasally, but it's very unique at the same time. It kind of reminds me of... well, you know, I'm not quite sure. Perhaps like a Bettel. We've heard Bettel before. He also has like a very like a nasally voice that puts this unique spin on things. It feels very personable. I actually really like how she's embracing that nasal tonality there. Alright, ramping up that drum. Alright. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. That little drop down low for the next segment there, or kind of in the middle of a segment there. But I have to say, very interesting. We're kind of keeping the vocals not suppressed, but consistent. The volume of the vocals is super consistent, but we also bring in these vocal layering, these other vocal tracks to layer on the main vocal as well for this big moment here. But I will say, you know, I wish we got a little more volume on that vocal track, because though I do assume we'll probably get that going forward, but it feels a little odd to have this increase in projection and intensity in the vocals, but the volume is like consistent all the way through. That sounds really good though, right there. I like the application of the keys as like an interjection treble tonality. Nice. And interestingly enough, we actually had those keys hit well after the drop on the vocals. So we were up high on the vocals, dropped down low, and then we have like a good couple of seconds before we get that key interjection to really supplement those treble tonalities. And at the moment we get those keys, we jump right back up high on our vocals. So some interesting mix choices there, which it's fun. It's fun to hear that being played around with. Oh, okay. Okay. We had the keys pop in with these toms, but we went right back into it. We're getting some more distortion on the guitar now. Alright, we're getting some snare snaps. Ooh, oh, I wish she didn't cut it off there, because we were getting some really nice emotion, breathiness in the vocals there. That was nice. I really like this. I wish we spaced that out a little more. You know, I know that we're kind of going in for this unique transition into the next vocal line, but that was really good. I want a little more of that emotion and breathiness there. Nice. She has some awesome pitch control. Ooh, nice. 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 This is I really like this song, but I you know, I have to say, I'm a huge fan of the song. I just wish the mix was a little more dynamic. And I don't necessarily mean that in composition. I mean that more in just the mix side of things. Like whoever's mixing this, or perhaps mastering it, doesn't need to flatten the volume so much. You know, we can have more progressiveness in the volume. We can have that branch out a little more, because we have this awesome moments where we're getting all these vocal tracks layering on, and Kiara's getting this emotion in, this breathiness in. She's segmenting things. And it just feels like it's being pushed down a little bit, you know? I wish it was a little more out there, projecting more louder. That's all it really means. That's all I'm really asking for. It's just for it to be a bit louder on those big moments there. Okay, nice little run there. I love those keys on the renew part. Nice. Alright, drum switch up, come back. Okay. Bass is coming up high, taking out midtones. Okay, rhythm switch up. Keys. Transition. Instrumental cutout. Nice canon there. Bass comes in. Alright, guitar matching up. Bringing in those drums. Okay. I really loved that moment there. There was a lot going on there, but you need to fill up. You know, we had this massive build-up, this big moment, and then we go back to the normal chorus. Come on. You know, we have this awesome moment, and you're going to just take it back to the normal chorus. You got to add something in there. You got to make it more dynamic, more progressive. You got to add like a new element in there. Add some more strings, add like a big violin line to just increase the tempo a bit, add more of the electric guitar, get in more distortion in there, just make it more dynamic. You know, where we had that awesome big switch up moment there, adding that tension. We're getting the payoff here after we had that instrumental cut out. This is the big payoff of all that switch up on the instrumental there. That switch up cannot be the big moment. The big moment has to come after that. And we're just kind of going back to the chorus. So on the composition side of things, you gotta have a payoff for your build-up. But Kiara's doing a great job covering these vocals though. Ooh, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, she got that breathy too. Oh, that was beautiful. I love it. You know, it's something that like you'll hear in like a System of a Down, stuff like that, where you have that big moment of breathiness and you're projecting out a big sustain on a breathy vocal, and then you come in to this nasal tonality. It adds that like, I hesitate to say twang, but it kind of is just a slight twang to the vocal track. It makes it so addicting and personable. It's something so unique to a vocalist when they can do that, to get that breathiness and turn it into that nasal tonality and add that bit of personality and emotion into it. I love it when vocalists do that. Okay. Are we ending it on that? We are. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to say that was pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of that. I actually really, really like that song. I will say, there's a couple. I had those few compositional and mix nitpicks, but overall, I love the song. That was an awesome song. I really like Kiara's voice. I really like her voice. That nasal tonality is something that can be hard to get right, honestly. Having a very strong nasal tonality in your voice can make it really hard to do those soft sustains and stuff. But Kiara knocks it out of the park. She just has control over her voice. She's able to reel that in, get these different demeanors in her voice, but still use those nasal elements in her voice as a strength. She's able to draw that out when she needs to. And it's beautiful. I love how she pulls that off. So overall, I love the song. That was an awesome song. I will say, in terms of the composition, there was some really awesome moments there. I actually really like some of those instrumental like handoffs, those baton passes between the bass to the guitar, and then the guitar passes it into the keys pass it on, and then we have an instrumental pullout goes into the vocal, and then the vocal gets a little more bassy, a little more breathy, and then we pull into the main chorus where we add everything back in. That was really fun, but we have to have a little more dynamic element in that, and it's something that I notice a lot of songs, especially in terms of like Hololive originals. I notice a lot of songs kind of hesitate to do that. They really like going back to the original chorus, which I think is okay in some scenarios, but having a reference and just repeating the chorus is very different. And to me, having a reference is like 9 times out of 10 going to be the preferable way to go. And so while we did get this massive switch up here, we had these different instrumental handoffs as a build up. The thing is, it's a build up. It's not the chorus. So if the chorus is going to be the exact same every single time, the chorus is what's going to stick in your head. And if that's the exact same every single time, then the song is going to seem repetitive. And, sometimes people want that. A lot of composers, that might be the goal. And that might have been the goal here. It might have been just to get that catchiness into the song and make the song catchy, stuck in your head. You're remembering the chorus, and you're like, oh man, I want to listen to the song again. You check it out, right? But to me, I personally prefer a dynamic element in the chorus, so that even though you can still have that reference to the melody, obviously, the chorus is going to have the melody consistent to some degree, but you still want that dynamic element, and it can be subtle. It can be very subtle, but it still has to be noticeable. So even if you have mostly the same chorus, you still want like a new string track, or emphasize the guitar track more, change up the mix a bit, add a new bass line in, just add a new track, like anything really, to just make that repetition of the chorus after the build-up more impactful. Because it should be more impactful, right? You had a whole new segment of the song dedicated to building that up. So why not have a payoff for that? And it doesn't need to be big. But it just needs to be something. And so that's probably my sole, well, aside from what I mentioned about having the volume a bit oddly consistent for the vocals, aside from that, that's probably like that comment on the last chorus is probably my sole real critique of this song. But aside from that, especially in regards to Kiara, I am very impressed. I am very, very impressed with the song. And Kiara's handling of her voice on this song. There's some awesome pitch control from Kiara there that I am very, very impressed by, and I'm definitely going to be checking out more of Kiara's music to see how she does in different under different composers, under different genres. That was really awesome. I really liked how Kiara handled her voice here. And overall, I mean, the instrumental was really fun. I really, really did enjoy the instrumental. So yeah, just I have a couple of nitpicks there with the last chorus and some of the vocal mixing, or perhaps mastering. But aside from that, I was a fan of this. So yeah, I believe one of you suggested that I check out Kiara from Hololive, and so that's what we did here, and I'm very impressed. I'm definitely going to be checking out more from her. So yeah, thank you very much for recommending it. And as always, feel free to recommend more things for me to check out in the comments below. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.